This tutorial will show you how you can take an old carnival costume and recycle it to turn it into a brand new costume and something completely different. If you don't have an old costume at home, you can use some old clothing or spare fabric you may have lying around. As we are recycling old costumes that have previously been worn, we have washed them on a hot wash using a quality disinfectant so that everything is nice and clean and ready to be reused. We are going to be incorporating these costumes into our 2021 theme for Hackney Carnival, so be sure to look out for the bright purple sequin fabric on the road. Some of the materials that I normally use have been replaced with alternative materials that are more sustainable and eco-friendly, and materials that you are more likely to find at home. For this tutorial, you will need a pen, a pair of scissors, some paper or card, 2 strips of lycra approximately 20 inches long and 1 inch wide, a glue gun and glue sticks, a measuring tape, some chalk. If you don't have any chalk, you can just use your pen, a ruler, some thread as we will be using a sewing machine, pins, some trim, rhinestones or any bits and pieces that you can use to decorate your costume. You will also need fabric for your costume, some felt, an old pair of bikini bottoms and an old bra. Place your felt on top of your fabric, ensuring that the front or decorated side of your fabric is face down. The felt will act as the backing of your belt. Using your pins, attach your template to the felt and fabric. All 3 layers should be pinned together. The length of your belt will be determined by the size of the person who will be wearing it. I have made my belt 26 inches long to fit a size small. Take your chalk or your pen and draw around your template. Carefully cut out your belt around the lines you have drawn, leaving a gap of approximately 1 centimetre. Leaving a gap will allow us to have a neater edge around our belt later on in the process. Remove your pins and put your template aside. I'm just going over the lines with my chalk. If you are using a pen, be sure to use a colour that you can see clearly but will not show through the fabric. If the fabric underneath your felt has moved, reposition it to ensure that all parts of your belt or inside the lines are covered. Use your pins to secure your fabric to the felt. You now want to stitch along the lines you have drawn along the top and bottom of your belt. We are going to leave the sides open so that we can slot in the strips of lycra which will be used as ties for your belt. Here I am using a zigzag stitch on a standard sewing machine. If you do not have a sewing machine, you can stitch this by hand or glue the fabrics together along the edges. Once you have stitched along the top and bottom of your belt, take a strip of lycra and slot it in between your fabric and felt on either side. Pin both strips into place. Now stitch along both edges of your belt to close the gaps. Cut along the edge of your belt to remove the excess fabric. Cut close to the stitching but be careful to not cut the thread. This will give a nice and neat edge to your belt. Once you have cut off the excess fabric, stretch each of the ties until the fabric begins to roll. Our next step now is to cover our bra with our costume fabric. Cut 2 pieces of fabric large enough to cover each cup. Using your glue gun, begin by sticking the fabric to the inside edge of your bra. Once the fabric is attached, stick down the opposite side to the underwire of the bra stretching the fabric slightly so that it's firm around the bra. Do not overstretch the fabric as this will cause the bra to fold over. Continue to stick the fabric along all of the edges of the bra and take care when using your glue gun as the glue is hot and can burn. Cut off any excess fabric and stick down any loose ends. Repeat the same steps for the second cup. Both cups should now be completely covered with no gaps and the fabric fitting firmly around the bra. Now we are ready to start decorating. If you are recycling an old costume, you can use the trim and rhinestones from this. If you are starting from scratch, then feel free to use any decoration and accessories of your choice. I will be decorating my pieces using the trim from the old costumes. Get as creative as you feel and try out different designs. Lay out your designs before sticking them down to avoid any mishaps. When decorating your bikini bottoms, you will need to stretch the fabric, and a great way to do this if you don't have a mannequin is to use a cushion. Place the cushion inside and stretch the bikini bottoms around it so that the side you are decorating is completely flat. Take a piece of fabric that covers the front and begin gluing from the top of the briefs. Glue across the entire area that you want covered and work your way down, stretching the fabric slightly so that it sits smoothly against the briefs. Once your fabric is stuck firmly down, begin trimming the excess fabric. Try and get as close to the edge as possible. You can always cover your edges with trim as I will be doing. When you have completely covered your bikini bottoms and trimmed the excess fabric, you can start decorating. I have used trim across all of the edges for a neater finish. And here we have the final product, a two-piece bra and bikini bottom set and a men's belt which can be paired with a pair of board shorts. You can use the same steps to create accessories and complete your carnival costume look. This video was brought to you by Fantasea Designs, our Consultancy and Soca Saga Boys.